Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I'm going to draw Negaton Smashgloves from Stumble Guys, and hey, thanks to Axton for your suggestion. So I'm just planning him up with a construction line for his head shape. So if I put that as his head there, and then his body, he's got some pretty wide shoulders, so his body's about the same height, and then his legs are pretty short. So if I just put some these are guidelines. That sort of gives you the proportions of where we want it to go. Got his head, and I'm just going to put in where his helmet's going to go. So something like this. A bit like a musical note there. Bring that out. He's got a bit of a longish eyebrow with one eye there, the other eye is there, and he's got all these cool sort of bit of a cool looking scar through there. Bit like lightning. So bring his head in there. Then he's got his neck. So neck. Then he's got his arm coming out on there. This is lined up with there. So I like to compare where things are when I'm drawing. That's a good tip for you guys. Compare things with each other, where things go, and also look at the negative spaces. So there's a little gap in there. Then this is where his glove's going to be there. And then his arm comes up and around like that. His shoulders almost come up, like because he's got big muscles, I guess. And his other arm, his hands there, so try and keep them similar sort of size, those gloves. This arm comes back on an angle like that, and then his body, and he's got his boxing thumb there. And his leg, this leg comes down. You see the front of his foot. It's good to sketch out your pictures, especially with these harder ones like this. And then the side of it, and then you see more of a side on foot. Once you've sketched it out, it's time to refine it. I'm going to use a 0.3 for this one. And I'm going to start with his eyebrow. So, because I've got it all planned, and I'm happy with the size and proportion, I'm just going to draw his eyebrow on there. And it's a shape like that. It's going to be dark later on. And then one eye, two eyes. Inside of his helmet, bring that around, bring it out. Now some of these characters are a little bit more jagged looking, but I sort of round them off, and then bring this line across here, comes down, in and around like this, then back up like so. It's going to round that off a little bit. Now he's got this cool sort of flame thing here that you can either draw on now, or you can leave it and add it. I'm going to leave all this other stuff with, now I'll draw that on as well, and then I'll just colour it in so it comes up and around like this. Reminds me a bit of some tribal tattoos, but also like cool blades or fire. And also a bit like a jigsaw puzzle there. Just another little shape that comes in like this. Yep, pretty happy with that bit. Now don't forget his chin. Bring that across. His neck. Bring his neck down. Now this is going to be the tricky part here, which is this part, and it's sort of like the one that I did for anti-dash, but this one's got a bit more sort of bump and wobble to it. Comes down and then back around up like this. Just making that a bit jagged looking, a bit more sort of like it's fire sort of thing. Now we've got an S that looks like this. There's the front of it, and then it comes down around and back around like that. And then we've got this sort of line that comes down like that. And then it's thinner here, comes back up and around like this. Cool smash gloves. Now let's bring his shoulder up and out and down like that. He does have a wrist guard on. And then he's got some bits that come around there. There's where his thumb would be, but his belt's in the way. So then his glove comes around like this. Now let's draw, he's got a, you won't see much of that belt, but he's got a bit of a, looks like a belt through there, so I'm going to put some lines across. Let's draw his glove on this side. And don't forget his wrist guard like that. And then his arm comes out and in, out and up. Arm, there's his body, comes in and then out for his feet. So let's put his sole of his shoe on like this. Then he's got a shape there with a white line. And then he's got this sort of like almost like a white or lighter colour on his pants. Comes up into there. This comes across, back of his leg. He's got a white band there, but it's quite dark underneath there. And then he's got his knee coming out like that. And then he's got his boot. Comes around, sole on the boot. And he's got like a white bit coming on his boot there. Now if you want to, you can put like a front edge on this. So let's put a front edge on that. Comes up, you see in there. Underneath, line through there like that. Comes around, and then this is like the front edge. I'm going to outline him with 1.0. I'm just going to speed that up.